it's like I knew this, but it's so articulate. The way she put it, it makes it a way where you can't even argue back because it's like has receipts and it's said in such the right way, the right tone that it's just like, how can you argue that?
Let's go.
What is up, guys? It's BRISXLIFE back at it again with another video, man. And in this one, we are checking out a video called BTS Paved the Way. Why is it so hard to accept it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, the title alone put a little spice on there, you feel me? Yeah, man, it is a very controversial statement for some. For me, or people like me, it's kind of like crystal clear as day. I have had this argument, I've had this debate with people before, you know, and this video popped up. And this one is by BRISXINQUIRY magazine. So shout out to you for this video. Appreciate it. Real quick, let me tell you guys about my new addiction. This is BTS Do You Know Me? It's a party card game. Not only that, there are like highly collectible, like platinum and diamond photo cards in here that you can get that I've been trying to collect. I actually did a unboxing and review of this game and I just like fell in love with it and I needed some more. So shout out to Dave and Adam's Card World because they sent me these two boxes and they're also sponsoring today's video. They've been in the collectible card game thing for like over 30 years now. They actually partnered with Constellar Games to bring this BTS game to all the fans, all the armies. And they also, it's officially licensed from Big Hit. If you guys want to grab a box or two, make sure you go into the link in the description or to be pinned in the comments down below. You guys can grab a box. I believe they're on sale right now. Don't hold me to it, but it's thecardworld.com. The first link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Y'all go get your boxes. Yeah, man, let's just get into this video. Let go.
BTS paved the way for K-pop. It is a fact, but also a controversial thing to say. So how is it that there is so much disagreement? First of all, I think we all need to make sure we're talking about the same thing first. Paving the way simply means making it easier for something to happen or someone.
The fact that you gotta put a definition on there, and it's like not even, it's not even like one definition. She got Webster, dictionary.com. Cambridge Dictionary, like, bro, because so many people want to interpret stuff in their own way of what paved the way. I shout out to you for that, because yeah, we need to all be on the same page, and this helps right at the beginning. Common sense ain't common, man. And BRISXINQUIRY, you get a lot of common sense here. Thank you for that.
Want to do something. Paving the way doesn't mean inventing something. You are not building the road from scratch. You're just paving a road which is very hard to walk through, making it easier for others to walk behind you. So when we say BTS paved the way, we don't mean that BTS invented K-pop or entered the global music market first. We just mean that BTS made it easier for K-pop acts to enter the global music market.
Okay, right there. Can we all agree on that part? I think so far we got the dictionary and we got that part about BTS just made it easier for other acts. I think we can all agree 100%, right?
Pop was a growing interest before BTS, but it was still a very niche thing. Now, however, K-pop is part of conversations about pop culture because BTS are mainstream. It was only after BTS entered the Billboard charts when Billboard created charts only for K-pop. It was only after BTS started winning Western award shows when Western award shows created K-pop categories. It was only after BTS won their first American award for top social artists when K-pop acts opened Twitter accounts because
hold on. See, this is stuff like I just never knew that fact. Joined 2017, 2018, 2017, 2017. Wow. Days after June 2017 made this happen. This May 2017, it happened May 7, 20. That's crazy, bro. I didn't even know that.
BTS were nominated for their Twitter engagement. It was only after BTS debuted in American television when K-pop acts started being invited to American television. It was only after BTS started getting Grammy nominations when K-pop acts started submitting their songs to the Grammys. It was only after BTS's fandom requested to have their albums on stores like Target when K-pop started selling their albums in stores like Target. It was only after BTS became the biggest group in the world when K-pop groups had the opportunity to sign with American labels. BTS...
God, she was spitting bars, bro. Back to back. And when you have, it's just receipts. It's all receipts.
The way.
No
because
opinion.
Without them, K-pop would have remained a niche interest and wouldn't have the global platform they have today thanks to BTS. So what are the arguments against the phrase BTS paved the way?
All right. The second generation paved the way.
First is that the second
Let's not get it twisted. Before I even hear Bodacity's opinion, look, man. Look, I know BTS looks up to so many, they have a list of artists, right? So yes, second gen, they did their thing, bro. Don't get me wrong. But BTS does look up to second gen and be like, yo, we appreciate you. Thank you for paving the way so far. And I think they're just like, we're going to continue paving the way in a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Generation paved the way. For more context, we need to understand that K-pop has different generations.
Yeah.
The first generation came
Sataji.
around the 1990s and is composed of artists like Psy Argument, who basically invented K-pop by introducing American music styles and music equipment to South Korea. And entertainment agencies were inspired by...
Let's not just say American music style. It's hip hop, black music. I have to throw that in. We can't leave it too vague. You know what I mean? We have to like narrow it down. Like, yes, black music is what invented or what Sotaji got that style from. All right, like, you just got to narrow it down a little bit. I know that annoys some people, but it is what it is.
The Japanese idol industry to create the K-pop idol training system, in which singers train for years to debut in a group. The second generation started around the early 2000s, and it was when K-pop became known as a niche interest in countries outside of South Korea. The third generation is K-pop slowly entering the global music market. BTS is part of this generation. The fourth generation starts in 2017, after BTS became the most popular group in the world. So the argument is that without the first and second generation of K-pop, BTS wouldn't even exist and be as popular as they are today. However, absolutely no one is denying that these big first and second generation K-pop acts helped BTS become a group.
Okay, all right. That's what I was waiting for, because I have talked to people who were like, that BTS still would have did this and did that without the first and second gen. What? Nah. We BTS, but like let's you know what I mean? Like, you gotta understand, BTS they look up to, you know, like Big Bang and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And Tableau. You can't just you just gotta, you know what I mean?
The members were part of the idol training system, and without it, they wouldn't even have met. But it was not because of the K-pop system that BTS became global artists. If this was the case, other bigger groups at the time with way more resources should have become global instead of them. BTS became global artists because they and their almost bankrupt label were rejected opportunities in the K-pop industry, and they were forced to find their own out-of-the-norm creative ways to promote themselves. The first and second generation helped BTS exist as a group, but they didn't pave the way because they didn't make it easier for BTS or anyone else in K-pop to enter the Western music market.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, we gotta break that down. That's a lot to unpack right there. Hold on, okay. You can't say, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna say this because she's saying that because of Sotaji, first gen and second gen and all those other artists and stuff like that, because they existed, BTS can exist, right? Like they like, okay, let's be a K-pop group. We can now. They all meet and they all try to form a group because of first and second gen, right? But when you say pave the way, when we go back to that definition, though, this is where it just struck a chord with me. The definition of pave the way to make it easier. You know what I mean? Easier for a K-pop group to grow and be successful. Now, I remember a lot of people wasn't messing with BTS back then. I do remember they were saying, who's BTS? I remember when they were like street interview videos when people were asking, do you know who BTS is? They're like, who's BTS? And they knew all the other groups, but they were like, who's this? And this is in Korea. This is Korea, specifically Korea, not global. In Korea, they was not messing with them. So it made it actually harder for BTS to become big. So they had to say, dang, man, I can't do nothing in my own country. I can't get big. I got to go to another country and get big. So they basically knocked down a door and paved the road for global success. Okay, I see it. So basically, they paved their own way. Even though there were groups and K-pop existed before them, they paved their own way, and now they made it easier for other people to become bigger and successful in global markets. Got it. I see what they're doing.
They actually made it more difficult. This is why all the previous K-pop groups who attempted to enter the Western music market failed. And after their failures, no other K-pop group tried to enter too, including BTS. BTS accidentally entered the Western music market because their music and personalities became popular on Twitter and YouTube, a way of promotion that K-pop acts didn't seriously consider before. This should be enough proof that the second generation of K-pop didn't pave the way. They actually destroyed the way because no one dared to walk through that road again. Now, thanks to BTS, the way is paved and K-pop groups have multiple opportunities to promote in the US.
Crazy. I'm just saying, look, it's like I knew this, but it's so articulate. The way she put it, it makes it a way where you can't even argue back because it's like has receipts and it's said in such the right way, the right tone, that it's just like, how can you argue that?
The second argument against is that Psy paved the way because Gangnam Style was a global hit, so he made K-pop be known
Gangnam
globally.
Style was a global
However,
hit.
that is not paving the way. Gangnam Style was huge, but his musical career didn't see much growth in the Western and global music industry. He was invited to American award shows, morning shows, late night shows, and he even had collaborations with Western artists. So he was the first in doing many things, but he didn't make it easier for other K-pop acts to debut in America. The general public knew Gangnam Style, but many didn't even know his name or the country he was from.
This is coming from someone who, when this song came out, I didn't even know K-pop existed. Like, K-pop wasn't nowhere on my radar. I didn't even know that was a term. I didn't even know you can put those two things together. I didn't know Psy's face. All I knew was the song. I didn't know what genre it was. I didn't know the country. All I knew was the song. So she is completely right in that.
Psy said, there were even people who thought my name was Gangnam Style. Some people overseas would say, "Hi Gangnam Style." Some did get to know about K-pop because of him, but since his future singles decreased in popularity amongst the general public, he stopped being invited to all of these shows. He was considered a one-hit wonder and a funny phenomenon that will disappear after some time, and that was what happened. And I know that
Psy is a legend. Let's not get it twisted. Legend, not a one-hit wonder. Nah.
Racism and xenophobia played a big role in his downfall, so I don't think we should blame him at all. It's not that Psy didn't want to pave the way for others, it's that Psy couldn't pave the way. But K-pop fans can be mad about his situation while also not inventing a story of success and paving the way, discrediting BTS, the actual ones who paved the way, especially when BTS in 2017 also faced similar hardships and were also considered a weird phenomenon that will disappear after some time.
This is facts. What?
The difference is that they kept growing because they were actually gaining fans, and these fans helped BTS win awards, perform on TV,
I've never
sell
seen
their
a
albums in
fandom
American
like
stores,
ARMY,
and sell out stadiums. This
Never.
made K-pop be known by the general public and actually be part of the American music industry, not just a funny guest. So Psy is the closer BTS can get of a Korean senior, but he didn't really experience BTS's level of popularity as artist, and he doesn't really know what it's like to help your country's music industry be part of pop culture conversations. BTS had to and did figure out by themselves how to stay in the worldwide music industry, and that's how they paved the way for others. They made the way easier to walk through, and they can give advice on how to do it, since it's a road they paved by themselves.
BTS only paved the way for the American market.
The third argument against is that BTS only paved the way for the American music market, and that we shouldn't prioritize their American achievements when other countries exist. I think this argument comes from people with little knowledge in the music industry. Whether we like it or not, the American music industry is the biggest music market in the world. Its value is more than 2 times bigger than Japan's, the second biggest music market. And
That's That's
Not
crazy.
only
I didn't know that.
But unlike other countries, America creates a chain reaction. The biggest artists in the United States have high chances to also be big in other countries, including Japan and the other big markets. But the biggest artists in Japan are big in Japan only. Of course, there are a few exceptions, but even those exceptions don't change the fact that you won't listen to the biggest artists from Japan, Germany, and France, in the US, in Latin America, or in every Asian country. The only music market that can do this is the one of the United States.
Facts.
This is why Billboard has two global charts, a global chart which includes the US and other global chart which excludes the US, because the United States carries the global music industry numbers. The funny thing is that BTS charts well in both the global charts including the US and the global charts excluding the US. This is why BTS paved the way not only for the American music market, but also for the global music market.
All I see is
BTS
receipts.
is huge in all of these countries, not just South Korea and the United States. They are the biggest artists, not group artists. In Japan's Spotify, they sold out Wembley Stadium twice in the UK. They are the only Korean act to have #1 albums in Germany. They are the only Korean group to sell out Stade de France. And this also happens in other countries with smaller music markets. It was only after BTS performed in Saudi Arabia when K-pop groups decided to also perform in Saudi Arabia. BTS
Let's KCON 2022 daily lineup, P1 Harmony, Pentagon Rain, day 2. Wow.
paved the way for K-pop to have some visibility in every country of the world. Thanks to them, K-pop has grown everywhere, and there are now K-pop festivals around the world, and K-pop albums are more easily distributed everywhere.
We're truly honored to
Each group paved their own way.
Amazing, tremendous artists right over here.
Another argument against is that each group has paved their own way. And what people say about this is that K-pop idols worked very hard on passing all the auditions they had as part of the idol training system, and they practiced a lot to strengthen their talents and get their achievements. Again, that is not paving the way. Paving the way is making it easier for others to do something. So if I say XYZ group paved their own way, I'm saying XYZ group made it easier for themselves to be known in the global music industry. And this is just not true, because the road is already paved. So how did they make it easier for themselves and others? I could argue the complete opposite. I could say that BTS were the only ones who paved their own way, and this has to do with BTS's musical influences and hardships. If you really want to attribute BTS's path to someone else, attribute it to the artists that actually inspired their music, art, and movement, which is
Is she gonna say it?
black music, genres like hip-hop and
Who knew? Who knew?
R&B, dance styles like breakdance, legendary rappers and singers who take pride in writing their own songs, who like talking about their personal struggles and experiences. This is not to say that K-pop hasn't also been inspired by black music.
Oh boy.
K-pop may sound and look like black music, but the purpose of the genres got lost. With some exceptions, of course, K-pop groups are not inspired by these genres anymore. They don't pay for the samples they use, and they don't recognize the musicians who are actually composing their music. They just want the aesthetic. This is why there are many K-pop rappers wanting to look like Rihanna, but not even knowing what genre she does. On the other hand, BTS have been actual fans of hip-hop artists since they were kids, and they were
100%. 100%. More than others in the group, I do believe, right? I know J-Hope, big influence. I think they all had that influence, right? Especially the rap side of it and everything. But come on, bro, like they just love listen to the first album, bro. Like just listen to it, bro. It's so heavily inspired by that.
Actually inspired by them. This is why they've always paid homage to their influences by mentioning their idols in songs, paying for the samples they use, and crediting them, showing their pictures in concerts, and even making documentaries featuring them and their voices. All of this while also prioritizing their own message, lyricism, and creative ways. BTS took the basics of these genres to express their own voices and create their own unique path in the music industry.
And this is why I got goosebumps right now. This is why I love BTS so much, right? They took something, they got inspired by something, but it was still original, right? It was still original to them. Like there are, yes, this is where it came from. These are the influences. This is what we were inspired by. We did take from this, but they turned it into like not this caricature of black people, right? It's their own message. And that's why I think I fell in love with BTS from the get-go, and I didn't even know what K-pop was. And BTS was its own genre to me. That's how I felt. Like I was just like, what the heck is this?
This is how you pave your own way. BTS didn't have the platform, but they had the talent, determination, creativity, and real love for music. For a K-pop group to pave their own way, they would have to walk through a path they paved by themselves. And that's not what they're doing. They only take the opportunities that BTS gave them.
BTS opened the door and closed it.
Finally, the last argument against the idea that BTS paved the way is that they actually opened the door and closed it, or that they paved the way for themselves and then closed the road for everyone else. They say this is because BTS's popularity is so big that no matter how hard others try, K-pop acts will always be in the shadows of BTS. And I believe that can be true, but only when you treat the road as a way to instant BTS level of success. The road BTS paved is not a road to be BTS. It's a road to have visibility in the global music market, but you still need to work hard to create your own artistic identity. The road is paved, but you still need to run. In other words, K-pop now has visibility in the Western music industry because K-pop groups now get invited to American TV and award shows. They now have American tours and albums on Target shelves. But
I think it's going to have to be more of a thing of like, you have to just do it your own way, because the king of pop is Michael Jackson, right? In my opinion. You can argue Elvis or James Brown or whoever you want to argue, but it's just Michael Jackson, right? BTS can never be Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson can never be BTS. You get what I'm saying? It's just they paved their own road. You know what I mean? And I think that's what the gist of this is. You know what I mean? There won't be another BTS. There can't be.
they still need to make themselves different from BTS because the best at being BTS are BTS, and no matter how hard K-pop tries, they won't beat them. This is why the K-pop group's attempts of being recognized as the next BTS try so hard to have the exact same achievements BTS had. They want to get the exact same records, and again, that is treating the road as a way to BTS's level of popularity, not as an opportunity to have visibility in the global music market. But there are some who do understand what this new road BTS gave them.
I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting the success of previous groups. I'm pretty sure BTS have wanted the success of previous groups, you know, coming up, and then they just went on this crazy trajectory. Can't say the word. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I mean, you always want to inspire to be you know, your heroes or people who've come before you. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's just how you go about it can make it like wrong or right.
Them is about.
They paved the way. You have to admit, they paved the way.
The majority of K-pop acts don't really say anything at all about BTS's popularity and the opportunities they gave them. It should be obvious, but they act like BTS doesn't exist or like they are just another K-pop group. This has something to do with their labels controlling them and their image. However, there are some who do admit that BTS paved the way for them, and the ones who say it simply take the opportunity that BTS gave them, say thank you, and move on with their careers. They know that competing against BTS is useless, so they do their best to use the global platform BTS gave them to showcase their talents. Starting with the founder of K-pop, Seo Taiji. 25 years had to pass for Seo Taiji to recognize another socially conscious Korean artist he could pass the torch to and proclaim as his successor. In 2017, Seo Taiji asked BTS to remake his classic Come Back Home and told them, "This is your generation now."
Woo!
Another popular group from the first generation is
Goosebumps,
Shinhwa. When talking about Korean entertainment agencies and the difficulty in balancing promotions in Korea and in the US, a member from Shinhwa said,
물론 이런 모든 고정관념을 깬 게 저는 BTS라고 봐요. 그래서 이제 저도 생각이 좀 바뀌고 있긴 한데 그래도 BTS한테 조금 이제 원하는 거. 그래도 한국 팬들을 가끔 생각을 해주셔서.
Rain, another singer from the first generation, appeared on a show where the interviewer said that the BTS promoted in the US thanks to Rain, but he responded, "They became successful because they worked really hard on their own. It has nothing to do with me." Some K-pop fans say that the second generation paved the way.
That's another name that I hear come up, not only just Psy, but Rain. The argument against BTS, but as you can see, Rain is like, nah, BTS worked hard. That's why they're here. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Including groups like Wonder Girls. But this was what Sungmi.
Another thing too, I knew Rain not because of K-pop. I knew Rain because he was an actor. He was like in one of my favorite movies called Ninja. Back then, it was one of my favorite movies. It was on It's called Ninja, and he was also in Speed Racer, and that's where I knew Rain from. I didn't know that he was a K-pop artist.
Me from Wonder Girls said in 2019. In an interview she had for Billboard, a K-pop journalist tried.
Mind you, this is like in 2009 or 2008, 2010 when I knew about Rain. Not K-pop. I didn't know about K-pop till 2017, which is crazy, like 8 years later.
To credit this group for the increased global popularity of K-pop. The interviewer said, "It's partially because of the groundwork laid by you and Wonder Girls." But Seungmi responded, "No, BTS." Yubin, another member from Wonder Girls, also said that since they also promoted in the American music industry, she feels more sympathy and pride for BTS because it was really difficult when Wonder Girls tried to enter that industry. After Beast, a second-generation group, was noticed in a foreign country, someone asked if it was because of K-pop, but a member of the group responded, "No, thanks to BTS." K-pop singer Ailee also said, "We K-pop artists are really proud of them because we know how hard it is to make it in the industry. The fact that they opened up these doors and cleared the way for us, it's a huge hope for us." Singling out BTS, Psy said BTS achieved Gangnam Style's unfulfilled dreams since they got permanence and persistence, as well as 6 #1 songs in the US, while Psy's highest peak was #2. Moving on to the third generation, the K-pop group KARD said that the reason why they are receiving such a pleasant response overseas is because their sunbaes or seniors, BTS, have paved the way really well. One member also said, "There's so many things we can learn from them, so we're looking towards them with respect." I feel like BTS has created a genre of their very own. Members from Astro, SF9, and 17 had also said that they have a lot.
BTS are so many. We have a lot to learn from. We will also like to work hard and receive such an award, BBMAs. SF9 Zuho, we promoted at the same time with many senior groups. We gained a lot of inspiration from BTS, and learned a lot. We want to learn more from them. Astros, Moonbin, I don't know why I read it backwards. We saw them perform at KCON. They are a group that we hope to take after. They're so good. So I want to learn from them. Not only that, bro, like there's been like a bunch of like idols that I've met personally, like just private conversations, and they were just like, "Yo, BTS is just this thing that they would love to have a fraction of." You know what I mean? Like it's just a thing with and it's crazy because a lot of labels don't openly speak about that. I mean, they are rival groups and stuff like that. I mean, rival labels and stuff, but a lot of the artists, man, when you just go out and have dinner with them, man, and it'll come up and they'll just say, "Yeah, man, like BTS is just goated, bruh. Goats."
To learn from BTS, referencing how BTS's achievements in the West helped them. The group Big Bang said, "Back then, there was no precedent like this. It was something that could only be imagined. BTS went to the Billboard Music Awards and achieved a great result. So we thought, wow, it's something that's actually possible. It seems to have made us work a bit harder." A member from G-Idol said, "Since BTS did help and introduce so many people to so many artists, we're influenced by them too. We would like to also strive for a similar path." A member from Monsta X said, "They really paved the way for us and other K-pop acts. They made way for us to participate in the United States music industry. I don't know if we'd be able to do the things we're doing right now without them." Another member said, "BTS paved the way, so I think it's been a little smoother for us." A member from Luna said, "We got a lot of attention only because of our samba names, BTS, who paved the way for K-pop."
BTS. Yes, I would say they definitely opened up the gate for everybody in K-pop. I would say.
Boy, Jackson.
Legends. They paved the way.
My guy.
I have to admit, they paved the way.
Bangchan.
Anyway, mad respect to BTS.
진짜 사실 미국 쪽에는 저희가 이렇게 K-팝의 인기가 있어질 거라고 생각을 못했어요. 근데 이렇게 이제 방탄소년단 선배님들께서 먼저 이렇게 열어주셔가지고 저희도 조금 더 알릴 수 있는 기회가 되지 않을까 싶어서 되게 감사하고 저희도 더 미국 활동을 해보고 싶어서 하게 됐어요.
Helena
Boda City did a lot of research, bro, to get all these like, because one thing to say it, you're like, "Oh, I've heard all these idols," but to see all these idols, in black and white and them verbally speaking it definitely gives more gravitas and weight to the argument,
The vice president at Nielsen, an information and data measurement firm, said BTS opened the floodgates for K-pop and that BTS makes K-pop become a mainstream trend on the global market. South Korea's culture minister praised BTS for providing a way forward to K-pop. The vice president and chief operating officer of the Korea Creative Content Agency stated K-pop has skyrocketed since BTS's popularity surged, creating jobs not only for BTS and their team but other K-pop idols as well. And the then president of South Korea, Moon Jae-in, said that BTS are the pride and future of South Korean culture and named them as the special presidential envoy for future generations and culture. Also, when talking about innovative strategies to communicate directly with fans, he said BTS paved the way.
Bro, how many people need to say it, bro, for people to get on the boat, you know?
A lot of K-pop acts who give BTS their credit, but like I said, there are many who don't. These are usually K-pop acts being pushed to be the next BTS. And what they like to do is mention goals like Billboard and Grammys, but only crediting second-generation groups as their inspiration, or even saying that they are the ones paving the way for others.
We had other artists that's been going overseas and doing what we're doing. So I guess we grew up watching them, thinking, you know, we wish to be the group that opens up the door for more
other foreign artists too,
to spread their music.
But still, the majority mention other groups that inspire their goals and don't address BTS at all, even when these goals were only achieved by BTS. So why is it so difficult to accept it?
방탄소년단.
I don't really like the "they are just jealous" response because it can be seen as a lazy response. But in this case, I really believe it all comes down to that one reason: jealousy. In the case of K-pop fans, the majority of the ones who deny that BTS paved the way were fans of the second generation of K-pop, who feel that saying that BTS paved the way for K-pop erases the second generation's achievements. And like I said, as hurtful as it is, BTS gave K-pop opportunities that the first and second generation couldn't. But the jealousy also comes from K-pop groups and labels who have been privileged their entire careers, no matter how much.
I would say this. I feel like it's not. Yes, there are idols who probably don't want to give BTS their just due. I think it's more labels. You gotta understand, these label heads and executives are like, they all know each other. They all used to be hanging around each other. Some of them used to be their underlings, and now they're bosses, or they're doing a lot better than them with other labels and other situations. You start to notice people who like the idol, like artists like who compose a lot of their own music and like really have a little bit more freedom, like Bangchan from Stray Kids. You know what I mean? Like, he'll just say it like, yo, it is what it is, bro. I'm not gonna cap, bro. I used to watch I used to watch BTS and stuff like that. But you know, the ones who's like really strict down, really can't say not one word unless the label okays it. That's coming from the label. That energy comes from the label. You know what I mean?
Much of a mess the group is, the groups on the big three are guaranteed to have a successful career. This is why the biggest groups before BTS were always from the big three. Nowadays, the groups from the big three have the same impact as they had before BTS's global popularity, but they are nothing in the global music market when compared to BTS. And this hurts the big three even more because BTS and their label used to be nobodies compared to these agents.
And I think that's what it is, right? I think that's the thing if it was like, how can I put this? Let's say, I don't know. Let's say if it was like, let's say it was like an Elon Musk of Korea, right? Like maybe he was Chaebo or something like that. I don't know. He came from LG or Samsung. Bunch of money, bunch of respect. And then he was like, yo, I'm about to do this label. He does the label. He already has the respect. He always has political ties and all this kind of stuff like that. So if they did have a group, the other big three labels would be like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, we like those guys over there. They would have no problem saying it. But the fact that these people were in their garage and they out here doing billions with a B, not only for the label, but for the country itself. Billions. That trickles down into their industry. With the acting industry, the makeup, clothes, it trickles down into all this other stuff. These people that was in the garages doing that, They cannot bring themselves and humble themselves enough that low to be like, yo, yes, BTS paved the way. You know what I mean? Like it's different. It's just, you gotta look at it that way. It's like, these peasants are doing what I'm doing. How dare they, you know? It's kind of like that attitude.
Agencies. Even until this day, the three biggest K-pop labels have a crazy amount of power in the Korean entertainment industry. They basically run most K-pop platforms, TV networks, and media in general, giving their K-pop groups the advantage of having more screen time, more positive reviews, more news coverage about them. This is why BTS, even with all the money they've contributed to their label and South Korea's economy, are still to this day being banned, lied about, and sabotaged by the industry. It's not just about money, it's about power. BTS and therefore HYBE have a lot of money, but they don't have the power. They don't have connections with Korean TV networks and media like these other Korean entertainment agencies do. BTS are the biggest group in the world, but the news cover their achievements the least amount of times they can because it doesn't benefit them.
정도 보도가 돼요. 그러면 우리가 흔히 알고 있는 소위 대형 기획사의 아이돌이 그것보다
Yeah, before we even get in more, just if you guys go and look up like how South Korea's economy even boomed, you gotta understand like of how like the political ties that everybody like it's so deep, and you know, I don't think it's my place to explain to you guys, but if you guys just do your research about like how the economic boom happened in South Korea, you would understand this part of this section of what they're trying to say as to why, how are they so big and they bring in so much for the country, but yet the media isn't like force feeding it, or like not force feeding it, but basically they don't need to force feed, basically just showing it all the time to all of the citizens of South Korea is because, you know what I mean? It's these ties, bro.
사실은 못 미치는 어떤 활약을 보였을 때 미디어에 보도되는 양이나 그 커버되는 범위를 보시면 확연히 차이가 납니다. 재밌는 부분이고
실제 그렇구나.
실제로 그렇다는 것이 저도 이제 알게 됐어요. 그런 것들이 이미 팬들 사이에서는 잘 알려져 있고, 이번 그래미 같은 경우 어떻게 들어가냐면 주요 부문에서 등극에 실패했다라고 한다든지 대체적으로 그런 경향이
아무리 마이너 장르라도 그래미 후보에 올랐다고 하지.
So K-pop labels and sometimes their K-pop groups refuse to accept that BTS paved the way because they couldn't, even when they had all the power and money from the start to do it. They are jealous that 7 nobodies from a nobody agency grew bigger than them.
Ooh, 7 nobodies for a nobody agency. It don't sting like you know, like I'm pretty sure it used to sting back in like 2013, you know what I mean? Oh, you guys are 7 nobodies from a nobody agency. I'm pretty sure that stung. That stung a lot. You say that now, it's kind of like a badge. You like, ugh, let me wear all of that. 7 nobodies from a nobody agency. You know, you just, you see the you see my chain? 7 nobodies from a nobody. Bruh, like it just feels like, ugh. And I guess that's what speaks to me, bruh, because that's what BRIS stands for. The best revenge is success, bruh. And that is the ultimate success, bruh. Like that is just a badge I would love to wear. Wow.
So they refuse to accept reality. This attitude from K-pop groups is also reflected in the way it's become harder for BTS to find friendly people in the industry.
근데 이제 그때부터 이제 친구도 없고 이러다 보니까
친구가 없어요.
네. 핸드폰이 이 전화번호 목록을 찾아보면 연예인 친구가 10명이 안 돼요.
진짜?
대부분 사람들도 이제 저희 부담스럽다고 보통 친구로도 잘 안 놀아주더라고요.
진짜?
And you can show me all the K-pop groups in the big 3 interacting with BTS, but almost none of these compilations feature interactions with BTS after the real global massive success. It used to be fun when BTS were nobodies or just the biggest in K-pop, but now that BTS is the biggest group in the world, K-pop labels envy that, and they don't want their groups to interact or even mention them. This is why BTS's friends from the industry are mostly indie artists who are not trying to compete against BTS. I really don't like the way it has become controversial to say that BTS paved the way, because if you really think about it, it's not that big of a deal. The phrase doesn't imply that BTS are better than every other K-pop group, and although I actually believe they are the best group ever, you can't think the complete opposite and still be able to agree with me, because the phrase only means that BTS gave opportunities for K-pop to be recognized globally. So learn a little from BTS and pay tribute to the ones who help you be where you are today. And if you don't want to mention them at all, that's also fine. Just don't be delusional and jealous. K-pop fans, as well as K-pop labels and groups, shouldn't be hurt by the fact that BTS paved the way. It's not an insult to your group. It's a sea full of opportunities to be seen and recognized in the worldwide platform BTS created.
Wow. All right. That is the end of the video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was nothing but facts and receipts in that video. I don't know how someone would argue against it. If you can, you could try it in the comments. But that was a lot of truth bombs. You know what I mean? So you feel some type of way. You feel some type of way. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video, man. I hope it was eye-opening. I learned a few things in this video, and I thought I knew a lot. But yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Love y'all. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace.